you know, Iran is suspected of trying to build nukes. Now, if my next guest is right, they're doing a lot more than that. It's actually building secret tunnels all over the region to hide and transport missiles to carry bombs. This would not be the first time that Iranian exile Alireza Jafarzadeh has helped expose nuclear facilities in Iran. He is a Fox News foreign affairs analyst and the president of the Strategic Policy Consulting, and virtually everything he has predicted from this region has come to pass. So pay attention. Scary stuff, if you're right.
It is, Neil. I mean, this new information is amazing because it shows that under the order of the Supreme Leader Khamenei, the Revolutionary Guards and the Defense Ministry have taken a large portion, about 30,000 acres of area near Tehran, that they have built tunnels and underground facilities that is used now for producing nuclear-capable missiles.
So in other words, they can shift these all over the place. So even if Israel had the bright idea to try to pull what they did with Iraq in 1980 and bomb one of them, it's like catching cockroaches.
In fact, what Iran has done since the revelations first started in August of 2002 by the Iranian opposition of all the major nuclear sites of Iran, Iran has shifted strategy into three ways. One, to move the program underground and now into tunnels under the mountains. This is the latest example. Second, bring the program under the control of the Iranian Revolutionary Guards and the Defense Ministry because it would give it more protection. It would also make it off limits to the International Atomic Energy Agency inspections teams that cannot go to military sites. And third, they're speeding up the process of rapidly getting the bombs.
Speeding up for what? For what purpose?
The whole purpose is actually get the Iran regime its first nuclear bomb as quickly as possible, because
for what intention?
Their intention is to dominate the whole region and the entire Islamic world. The Iranian Ayatollahs have made it very clear that they believe in global Islamic rule, and they want to dominate the Islamic countries and later expand it to other countries. What Ahmadinejad said in calling for wiping Israel off the map, it was not just off the cuff.
You're talking about Iran's new elected leader.
Exactly.
Let me get your take. He and other influential leaders in the government were meeting with Iraq's leadership, and that raised a lot of issues. Just how tight are these countries? Are they?
Absolutely. I think this is very troublesome because Iran has been extensively involved in the Iraqi affairs for many years. There was a war for 8 years that Iran used to develop proxy groups in Iran, and then after the invasion of Iraq, Iran has been sending weapons, arms, funding the insurgency there, explosives, training. Intelligence agents of Iran are all over Iraq.
What do they want to do? It's not a matter of just taking over Iraq. They just want a Muslim
Actually, what they really like to see is a sister Islamic republic in Iraq modeled after Iran. But if they cannot accomplish that...
Which is a super conservative militant republic.
Well, which would be a republic that would be first repressive against its own population, and would be very strict, but also regionally and globally would be vehemently anti-American, anti-Israel, and against the Arab countries who are the so-called moderate Arab countries in the region who don't want to see an Islamic republic. And I think this is a very, very serious threat.
So let me ask you this, Ali. If those who have opposed our war in Iraq right now had their way and troops were to be pulled out under an expedited schedule, what would happen then?
Well, I think that would certainly pave the way for the more radical elements who already have the upper hand, I think, in many areas there. In fact, their desire is...
They're in Iraq.
In Iraq, exactly.
So you get a country similar to Iran.
You would have, and imagine, if you would have the two countries, Iran and Iraq, with all the resources and all the power and the population there, they can easily dominate the entire region. And it's not going to be limited to the region. I think it will expand to Europe and ultimately to the United States.
So it is in... You argue it's in our interest to keep the troops there for no other reason than to allow this fledgling democracy to take hold, or what?
What I would argue is actually beyond that. Not only that, but I think what the United States need to do is to be really tough on these Islamic extremists in Iraq, reach out to the more moderate voices, whether Sunnis or Shiites in Iraq, and close the borders in Iraq.
They've tried, though. They've tried.
Well, I don't think they have tried it effectively because
they're dealing with Syria, they're dealing with Iran. It's a mess.
But it is a mess only if you allow it to be a mess. I think the Iranian regime influence in Iraq has not been really confronted. They're no match for Syria. I think what they can do, they can beat the Iranians at their own game. I think what the United States or the more moderate voices in Iraq can do.
Will we someday go to war with Iran?
Well, I think Iran has already planned as a war plan, not necessarily war plan for the United States. But there is no need, I think, for that because the United States can reach out to the Iranian opposition and the Iranian people who are already calling for regime change in Iran.
All right, Alireza, thank you very much. The one thing out there that can sink stocks, you'll never guess what it is, the answer.